Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Monday, August 10th, 2026. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. I hope your family enjoyed their weekend and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the area of health, along with first responders doing all they can to save lives, those that pick up garbage, keeps our streets of our cities and towns clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children, victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The ones out here trying to help and rescue those that are victims of prostitution, child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on all the perpetrators, profiteers, and perverts that create demands that cause these evil and heinous industries to exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, military veterans, homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world homeless also, especially today as the country of Colombia had a major 7.4 earthquake that was felt from Colombia into Ecuador and into Panama. Pray for those people that may have been affected negatively, as thousands of people obviously were, and that safety and health are primary situations there. Aid hopefully coming soon. Yesterday, I talked about in our live stream. We talked about how Leon Rose and the New York Knicks have developed a new culture. Very important part of that culture is finding both players that fit the culture and that they can get at a discount. That's been the culture. It's been shown in many areas, but mostly it's been shown in how Leon Rose does the draft. If you recall, almost every year now, from even the first year, they trade down in the draft. They trade down because the further down you trade, the less you have to pay. So first round picks that get in the top 5 get way more money than picks in the bottom 5. So they're always trying to find where they can trade down and still get talent and value. One of the ways this has been really shown is the value and talent the Knicks have gotten in the second round. This has been a staple in New York. As almost every year, they're trading down and getting high value in the second round at a low cost. The most recent example of this has been Mohamed Diawara, who they got at 51. And now he's going to be a rotation piece for the Knicks this year. Another way that Leon Rose has shown this is in how he goes after extensions. Now, it's already been declared, as we all know. James Dolan has said he's not going over the second apron. Now, I was looking at the numbers. I did a little AI research. I'm trying to get with the modern age. And I looked at the numbers in terms of Karl-Anthony Towns' extension, Deuce McBride's extension, and Josh Hart's extension. And I've said many times, which a lot of people still don't get, Karl-Anthony Towns is the key here. He's going to take a discount. The Knicks are not going to give him. You can hear about 4 years, $272 million, all you want. He ain't getting that. I'm going to tell you that 100% can tell you he's not getting that. So he's going to take a discount. Now, he's going to really take a discount in the first year. This is another thing that Rose has done consistently with contracts like Mitchell Robinson's contract, with Josh Hart's contract. He has done this consistently. So you're going to see a situation where the first year of whatever extension they sign is going to be discounted so that they will stay under the cap. Now, I looked at the possibilities. Now, I could see Towns getting about 4 years, 180. And next year, he's due. His last year's player option is $61 million. But it's not unusual for a player to give up a large last year in order to get multiple years that add up to more money. So in this case, Cat would be getting last year of his last deal, which would be $61 million. He'd be trading the $61 million for guaranteed 4 years, 180. Okay, so I'm thinking that's what he'll probably do. So that right there, and then Josh Hart is going to take a discount. Now, Josh Hart is eligible for $131 million over 4 years. He's not getting it. Let me say that again. Josh Hart is eligible, and I don't care what the clickbait say or all of that, and y'all know that's out there heavy, and some of y'all just want to eat it like you high on crack or something, but he ain't getting no $130 million. I'm thinking Josh will get 4 years, $72 million, $18 million a year. Now, Deuce will be the surprise. And many of y'all been trying to put Deuce's name in trade. Very stupid in my view because of his value and his impact on winning. I think Deuce will end up getting 4 years, something like $48 million. He might get more, but he's eligible for 4 years, $90 million. That's his eligible based on the NBA rules, CBA salary structure and all that. But he's not going to get that. I'm going to tell you right now, he's not going to get that. But his first year salary, a jump from what he's getting now, $4 million, to about $12 million. Nice raise for Big Deuce McBride. Nice raise. So if that's the case, Karl-Anthony Towns, 4,180. Josh Hart, 472. Deuce, 448. Now, the end result numbers could be bigger than what I'm saying, but the first year salaries is what we're talking about here. If that is the case, and listen carefully, some of y'all like to comment on videos just looking at the thumbnail, don't know what the hell I was talking about, and then you start saying dumb things or asking questions about what the video already talked about. If they do those numbers, 4,180, 472, 448, okay? That would mean the Knicks would be under the first apron and the second apron. They would end up with about $15 million under the second apron. They would end up about 2.2 under the first apron. Now, they'll be over the salary cap, the first level. There's 3 levels. There's a salary cap, then there's a first apron, then there's a second apron. Dolan says stay under the second apron. With this money, they'll be under both aprons. Okay? Now, they still be over the cap. But that ain't his penalty. That ain't his injury to the Knicks' financial structure. That ain't as bad for their balance sheet as going over the second apron. So they'd be under the first apron by $2 million. They'd be under the second apron by about $15 million. And all 3 players will get paid. And they'd have their full squad for at least another 2-3 years, which is what we want. And this is brilliant on the side of both Leon Rose and Brock Aller. Brilliant. When they went and got Karl-Anthony Towns, as I mentioned many times, when trading Julius Randle and trading Dante DiVincenzo, they opened up a 4-year championship window when they got Cat. Now, his first year, we didn't get the chip. Cat didn't even get a training camp. And Cat was under Tibbs. After that first year, here we go with Mike Brown, and we now know what happened. The Knicks basically dominated the playoffs. 4-2 against Atlanta. Sweeps of both Cleveland and Philly. And then a 4-1 gentleman's sweep of San Antonio. Dominated. Almost like no team has dominated the playoffs in a long time. That is why the Knicks have a chance to repeat the level of domination they showed. But it wasn't just that. Just making the right moves in the beginning with Cat opened up a 4-year window. And why do I say that? Not just because of Cat's ability, but because of the ability to keep the whole squad together once it has won a championship, which is what just happened. The Knicks won a championship now, and they now, because they bringing back the squad, they financially under the right cap and right aprons and mess, they can continue this for a minute. So this is the strength of the Knicks. See, the strength of Oklahoma City, for example, is the fact that they made the trade for SGA, giving up Paul George, okay, and sending him to the Clippers. And so what ended up happening, they started adding up a lot of draft capital. They did that when they moved Harden, when they moved Paul George, they got a lot of draft capital. Okay, when they moved Russell Westbrook, they got a lot, and they cleaned their books and got a lot of draft capital. That draft capital turned into Chet Holmgren. That draft capital turned into Jason Williams. That draft capital turned into a lot of good. And then the money, they said, Alex Caruso, Lou Dort. Then on top of that, their development. Now, the Knicks' strength is different. We ain't trading no big players to go get a whole bunch of draft capital. We traded McCall to get our draft capital, and a lot of these people still whining about that. But McCall won us what? A chip, and that's the bottom line. But what the Knicks have done slickly is use Brock Aller to get them in financial position to do what I just talked about they doing. They just want a chip, and they still in position to keep doing it with the same crew. See, the reason is there's no answer for Karl Anthony Towns. See, you can build strategies at this point to guard SGA. You know, it's going to be tough, you know, because you got Jalen Williams over there too. And you still got Hartenstein. You still got a crew, okay? It's going to be tough. And you can build strategy, as we have seen, to put pressure on Victor Wembanyama and them. For now, until they, you know, become grown, mature-wise, then they'll be tough, okay? But for now, you can take advantage. You got strategies. What do teams have to strategize against Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson? There's not much you can do. And if you're going to try to say you're going to double him and leave OG open, you already seen what happened. And then you still got the runner, Havlicek, cutting, running, playing all the time, and Mikal Bridges. And then you got the hustler, Josh Hart. And then you still got Shamet, Deuce, Alvarado, Jordan Clarkson. And now you got the young boy coming up, Mo Diawara. And we really don't know. Like, Mo Diawara plays very well with good players around him because he's good. He didn't play that well in summer because he playing with dudes trying to make teams and stuff. It wasn't like his standout type of year. He's not the dude to just take over the game like that. But he's a piece that fits. He's plug and play. And he can guard 5 positions. And you're going to see more of that this year. The thing about Deuce that everybody slept on, Deuce had hernia surgery in February. Deuce only played 41 games last year. He had a real injury-plagued season last year. If Deuce can stay healthy, like he did under Tiz, which I think he will, football player type dude, he's going to have a big year this year. So you got him, you got Shamet, you got Clarkson, you got Diawara. Now we're going to add a roughneck and Andre Drummond, and we're going to probably add a 5, a roughneck 5. But we'll see who that is. DeLeon's working on that. And you still got Tyler Kolek. So look at it. Your point guard depth is Brunson, Alvarado, and Kolek. Your 2 guard depth is Mikal Bridges and Deuce and Clarkson. Your wing depth is Josh Hart, Shamet, right? Mo Diawara. And Mo Diawara can play both the 4 for OG and the 5 and the 3. I think we're going to be all right. See, because there's really you game plan for people. So, like, you know, you game plan for Cade Cunningham. You're trying to stop Cade from getting in the key. He's 6'7". He, you know, built like a brick doo-doo house. And he can get in, over muscle you and still hit that, you know, that 12-foot jumper and kill you with that. See the floor, too. So you got to keep him out the middle. It's not easy. It's easier said than done, but that's your strategy, okay? You keep him out the middle. Then what do they have in Detroit? Do they have an OG type of dude? Do they have a Brunson? Do they have a... No. They tough as nails defensively now with the Thompson boy. But they really Cade dependent. Then it's SGA. You got Jalen Williams, SGA. Then they got a very strong bench in OKC. Very strong. Now, Chet Holmgren, well, you know, I always said the boy was skilled but a little light in the pants, you see. So that kind of showed up because Jalen Williams was hurt. A.J. Mitchell was hurt. And they needed Chet to step up some more. And daggone Victor and them, you know, they took his lunch money. I don't know if that's going to be a regular thing, or is he going to come back, you know, and grow something like a man? I don't know. But they limited. That's my point. They can be beat. The Knicks, though, and these guys, you know, this is Cat's 3rd year with Brunson. Brunson, OG, and Josh have played together 3 years at least. Deuce is the oldest tenured Knick right now. I don't know. The Knicks going to be tough this year. Now, the only thing to stop the Knicks is injuries. That's the only thing to stop a lot of these teams. A lot of teams' whole season depends on how healthy they are. Like last year, I thought Orlando was going to show up some stuff, but they didn't because either Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, or Suggs was hurt. Okay? We know about the Pacers. Pacers are a different team when a healthy Halliburton is there, like you're going to get this year. Without Halliburton, and then you lose an Obi Toppin too, which is a very major bench piece for them, different team. Okay, so injuries can really affect a team's performance, especially if they're injuries in the rotation, especially if they're long-term injuries, like dude missing 3 months and stuff. You know, that's hard. Okay, then you got Miami. Okay, now Miami's dependent really on Giannis, obviously. Bam, 2 very dependable, tough dudes, you know, all NBA defensive players, and of course MVP level with Giannis. And then you're gonna have a couple of, you're hoping that the supporting cast come through. They could be all right, but listen, they already lost a lot. You can't give up Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez, and Tyler Hero and not hurt yourself. I'm telling you, that's a lot to give up, man. That's the danger of going for the fences on some superstar like a lot of knuckleheads always pushing, because you got to give up too much. New York should know this, because that's what happened to us with Carmelo Anthony. We got Carmelo Anthony, gave away Gallinari, Wilson Chandler, Ray Felton in his prime, okay? Gave him away, and we never recovered. They went and got Tyson Chandler. They went and got, J.R. Smith. They went and got a lot of dudes, but they had that one good season where they won 54 games and then they're not seen again. That's not long-term sustainable winning. When you have the Don in them now, what you are now looking at is the result of planning for long-term sustainable winning. And let me tell you something. Enjoy this. It's not like it happens all the time. It's 53 years since the Knicks won a chip. But it's not just that. It's having the crew in place to go forward and do it again. There's going to come a time Cat ain't going to be playing like that no more. Brunson ain't going to be playing that no more. There's going to come a time OG ain't going to be like that. There's going to come a time they're going to come on the downside. Happens to everybody. Father Time's undefeated. But right now, for the next 2 seasons at least, the juggernaut is here. Enjoy it. Y'all enjoy it. Enjoy your Monday. We'll talk soon. They're hopefully going to come out with these extensions before training camp so we can get this thing locked up. Get our new third five out there. I'm excited about what's happening. I know the Don got it all under control. Some of y'all need to learn this. We'll talk soon. Shalom.